Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Larry Knight Field, a sun-drenched Larry Knight Field as the Rex Adidas tournament continues. The Sumrall Bobcats hosting county rival, the Purvis Tornadoes. I'm Kelly Sander along with Brody Courtney, Richard Thompson, bringing you the action here today in game one. Let's get to the lineups, and then we'll kind of explain where the tournament is at this point. Purvis comes in with an overall record of 3-4. They'll be led off by shortstop JoJo Parker. His brother Jacob Parker will bat in the 2-hole for longtime coach Tony Farlow. He's playing center field. Damon Putnam is batting third and playing third. Ethan Walker, the catcher for the Tornadoes, bats in the cleanup spot. Batting fifth is Austin Lawler, the right fielder. Then comes Caden Hartfield, who's playing second base. Batting seventh, playing first base, is Cannon Turner. In the 8th spot is Michael Breland. Breland hitting for himself, and Desmond Bowler, the left fielder, batting ninth. So for Purvis, it's Parker, Putnam, Walker, Lawler, Hartfield, Turner, Breland, and Bowler. And they are facing Hampton Baudouin on the mound for the Bobcats. Baudouin, a senior, getting the call today to go against the Tornadoes. Now, we'll set the Sumrall lineup for you batting-wise in the bottom part of the inning. Tournament-wise, here's where it stands. If Sumrall wins this game, they will have to wait to see who the winner of this next game is today against Columbia High School and Wayne Academy. If Columbia wins, then Sumrall and Columbia will just have the district outcomes determine the winner of this tournament. But if Wayne Academy wins, which the Jags have been impressive, beating both South Jones and Oak Grove to get to this point. If the Jags win, then Sumrall would play Wayne Academy for the championship a little bit later on today, and we are underway. There's strike one to JoJo Parker, the left-handed hitting shortstop. So again, this might be the only game of the day if the Bobcats can win it. There's strike two on the inner part of the plate. So Baudouin off to a good start. Baudouin was playing right field in the other games. We'll set the Bobcat defense for you here in just a second as they're in their powder blues, and the guys will tell you they don't lose in their powder blues. Kind of rhymes, doesn't it? You got Hawkins at third base, Holloman at short, Hicks at second, Odom at first. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and lifted out of play on the left field line. In the outfield, left to right, it's McNair, Brazil, and Clinton. Wind blowing not briskly, but what wind there is blowing straight out to center field. Bobcats playing Parker to pull ever so slightly. 1-2 pitch, here's a shot, but wide of first. JoJo and Jacob, of course, brothers. Sounds like a law firm, Parker and Parker. That's actually what their dad does, known as Jop Parker. 1-2 pitch from Baudouin. Swung on, another golf shot. So the count remains 1-2. It's a beautiful day. Not a cloud anywhere in the sky here today in Sumrall. So don't forget the sunscreen if you're coming out to the ballpark. 1-2 pitch, foul again. Over into Miss Shirley's yard, but I got to see Miss Shirley's actually here today in her designated chair down next to the concession stand. It was good to see Miss Shirley Haddix. 1-2 the count to the leadoff man, JoJo Parker. Fouled into the screen again. So either way, this is a good at-bat for Parker. He's putting some miles on the arm of Baudouin early. The 1-2 pitch again. Swung on. Easy pop to the right side of the infield. Odom is underneath it, waiting on it, and puts it away for out number one. So here's Jacob Parker, the center fielder. Parker, quite a spark plug on the football team for Coach Brad Hankins. Of course, Purvis, longtime baseball coach Tony Farlow, back at it again. Two straight lefties to face Baudouin. Check swing, but he went around for strike one. Don't forget to join us on our text line, 601-310-7077, and let us know where you're watching the game from, who you're cheering for. We know you're cheering for Sumrall generally, but here's a high drive to left center field. McNair to his left, but it'll be Brazil to his right to put it away for out number 2. 2 up and 2 down, and here's Damon Putnam now, the third baseman. The Bobcats on the web brought to you by Diversified Forestry Management. Real South Hunting. American Graphics is a sponsor. Thank you, Stan Welburn. And Watts Brothers. I'll tell you about some other sponsors as the day goes on. First pitch is a strike. Boy, Baudouin has been in the strike zone about every pitch so far today. Brazil shading a little bit toward left on Putnam, the number 3 hitter, playing third for Tony Farlow. Strike 2 on the corner. He has just been a strike-throwing machine so far here in the early going. Hampton Baudouin, breaking ball. That one's swung on and fouled. Mike Peterson on the PA today after seeing the Hattiesburg Tigers win a basketball title last night. First one in 41 years, 49 years. Wow. Good for them. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him on strikes. So the Tornadoes go down 1-2-3. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base. Let's give you the Bobcat lineup now. Sumrall comes in with a record of 7-1 overall. Landon Holloman leading it off, the shortstop. He'll be followed by Barrett Brazil, Walker Long, who's been hot as of late. And a lot of you commented last night on what I said in the PCS game. All I was saying is I wouldn't have pitched to Walker Long. And I said it before he got the game-winning sacrifice fly. And it's a tribute to Walker Long. It's nothing against him at all. I'm just saying if you're trying to win the game and first base is open, I'm not pitching to Walker Long. Anyway, Leo Odom will bat fourth. Drew Davis, the designated hitter, hitting for Baudouin. Davis batting fifth. Then comes Landon Hawkins, the third baseman. Cade Clinton batting seventh. Malik McNair eighth, and Tyson Hicks in the 9-hole. Hey, boss. Thank you. Anita Sumrall in the press area today, athletic director at Sumrall High. Who would not want to be at the ballpark today? My goodness, it is a beautiful, beautiful day, and it's not even going to get that warm. So again, for Sumrall, it's Holloman, Brazil, Long, Odom, Davis, Hawkins, Clinton, McNair, and Hicks. Richard and Karen Thompson. Oh, Richard's not here today, huh? Oh, they are watching. Tessa Morales is on the web today watching as well. You know I love y'all at home, but man, you need to be at the ballpark today. It's some kind of ballpark, if not here. So here we go. Don't forget, you can reach us in the press box at 601-310-7077. So here's Landon Holloman now. Holloman had a good night at the plate last night. Couple of doubles down into the left field corner, and PCS kept playing him more towards center field, and he found that opening in left field and made PCS pay for it. So here we go, righty versus righty. Breland on the hill for Purvis as Holloman steps in. Here in the bottom of the first inning, and the first pitch is a strike at the knees. Coaches Cooley and Davis in their traditional positions in the coaching boxes. Strike two. Both pitchers in command early on here. Holloman's got to get to work now in the whole 0-2. Purvis and Sumrall, you think these two teams haven't seen each other over the years? Breaking ball, slapped foul. Count stays 0-2. And they're going to see more of each other as they are district rivals. But the Columbia Wildcats, who will play in the next game today against Wayne Academy, they are also a district rival of Sumrall. So 0-2 to the leadoff hitter, Landon Holloman, as the Wildcats bat here in the bottom of the first. Got a piece of that one and put it into the screen. Holloman, real athletic. He's the type of guy you think you could get him to play just about any position, and has. He's been a middle infielder. He's played the outfield. He can do just about everything. And commissioned, at least right now, to get on base here in the leadoff spot. 0-2, the pitch from Breland. Swung on. Here's a lazy fly out towards center field, being tracked by Parker in center, and he gloves it for the first out. So Parker hauls it in, and here's Barrett Brazil. Brazil locked down in that center field spot, and he and Holloman have been the 1-2 punch so far in the Sumrall batting order for Andy Davis. First pitch to him. Here's a little lazy pop. Shallow center, Parker coming in, infielders going back, and the shortstop making the play. That's JoJo Parker. I'll tell you, I know the out was made, but that's really the center fielder's ball coming in. Much easier to gauge, but Parker handled it. And here is Walker Long now. Now you have to pitch to him with bases with bases empty in the first inning. Go ahead. First pitch to him. Kind of a cue ball off the end of the bat. Kind of put an English side spin over to the right side out of play, 0-1. Boy, Walker Long, a couple of years ago, you really weren't sure about how big this kid was going to be, but you get up there next to him now, that is a big youngin'. The 0-1 swung on, and that one's lifted out of play, foul. That nice breeze coming through here now. The executive lounge in right beginning to fill in. The Partios out in right field are being occupied. Here's the 0-2. Lazy pop. Infield, pitcher calling for it. Right there in his glove, and Sumrall goes down quietly in the first. No runs, no hits, no errors. No one left on base. We go to the top of the second inning, no score between Sumrall and Purvis. Watts Brothers, among the sponsors on our webcast. We thank them for their support, along with Kids Campus Learning Center. Kids Campus spelled with K's. Landry Lewis and Germany Architects. The Alpha Insurance Agency of Spencer Nixon. You can see his billboard as you're coming into Sumrall on the 589 from Hattiesburg. Winburn Lawn and Landscaping. Thank you for your support, along with Parkwright Striping and Seal Coating. And High and Tight Gentlemen's Club. Without their support, our webcasts would not be possible. So Baudouin back on the mound, and again restating the tournament situation here. Columbia, the Wildcats, will play Wayne Academy next. If Wayne Academy wins, then the winner of this game would play Wayne Academy after that game for the title. But if Sumrall wins this game and Columbia happens to win this game, well, if Purvis wins this game for that matter, because they're all district rivals, they would just allow the district results to determine who wins this championship. Because when you're playing this many games in a short period of time, it tends to be pretty taxing on the pitching staff. So here's Ethan Walker now as we go to the top of the second inning. First pitch is outside. Jeremy Thompson, our old running buddy, watching again from Disney. Wonder what celebrity he'll run into today. That one's low, 2-0. Jim and Glenda Cody are watching. We appreciate them. Glenda is an alumnus of Sumrall. High, 3-0 now. Richard Thompson doing some show choir work today. There's a strike on the corner at 3-1 now. That's why he's not with us. I remember him telling us that yesterday, that he was going to be at show choir. But we're in good hands here with Brody Courtney. Brody enjoying his newfound celebrity status wearing the shades today up here in the press area. 3-1 pitch is low, ball 4. And Ethan Walker is on base. So here's Austin Lawler. The catcher will be run for. So Mixon, Paxton Mixon. Boy, how many first and last names in America would you ever get 2 X's? One in the first and one in the last. Here's an easy pop fly to the right side of the infield. Odom again underneath it. He pockets that one and without any trouble, and there's one away. Both pitchers have been pretty effective here so far. Here's Caden Hartfield now. Well, Hudson Walker. I had Caden Hartfield listed as... So Hudson Walker is actually batting for Hartfield. So we stand corrected. So Caden Hartfield defensively for the Tornadoes. But Walker hitting for him. 2-0. Runner on first, 1 out. Hampton or Hamp Baudouin on the mound for the Bobcats. The 2-0. Strike on the corner. So far, I like this umpire zone. Pitcher friendly, which I think all umpires at any level should be pitcher friendly. It's a game designed to put the ball in play, hit it, and make the defense make plays. 2-1 pitch. That's fouled into the screen to the right side. The Rex Adidas tournament usually is played around spring break, but this one, the way the calendar shook out, a little bit earlier this year. Here's the 2-2 pitch. High, 3-2. So decision time for Tony Farlow as to whether to put Mixon in motion over at first base with 1 out. Spring break is truly a break this year. 2 weeks. Was one of the selling points when Lamar County went to the quote-unquote year-round schedule, is the 2-week spring break. Runner is going. 3-2 pitch is outside, ball 4. So runners on first and second now. Both issued free passes. And here's Cannon Turner now, the first baseman, with runners on first and second and 1 out. Southern Miss playing Dallas Baptist today in Game 2 of that 3-game baseball series at Pete Taylor Park. The Southern Miss basketball team getting ready to play in Pensacola in the quarterfinals of the men's basketball tournament against pesky South Alabama. Turner hitting 7th in the order for Tony Farlow, head coach at Purvis. Checked his swing but went around. 1-1 now. Farlow working on the retirement plan, where he retired officially from the school system, but coaching. Tony Farlow, a big NASCAR fan. He was a big Jeff Gordon fan back in the day. Never thought I'd hear Jeff Gordon and back in the day in the same breath. There's a base hit into left field. Rounding third, Farlow waves the arm. The Tornadoes have grabbed the lead with a one-out single by Cannon Turner. Other runners go to first and second. And that brings up Michael Breland. First and second with one out. And the Tornadoes have drawn first blood here. Breland hitting for himself in the 8-hole. Breaking ball is high. Defensively for the Bobcats, Hawkins at third. Holloman at second. Hicks, check that, Holloman at short. Hicks at second. Odom at first. The 1-0 pitch. That one's off the fist and into the screen. 1-1, the count evens up. And the aroma of the hamburgers on the grill have reached us here in the press area. Boy, whatever they put on those things, boy, do they smell good. 1-1, swing and a miss. 1-2 now the count to Breland, with Desmond Bowler, the left fielder, on deck. The Tornadoes runners on first and second, one out here in the top of the second inning. The Tornadoes have grabbed the lead. Wind now shifted over a little bit toward right field. 305 down the right field line, 325 down the left field line. That's outside to even up the count at 2-2. The Southern Miss Lady Eagle basketball team won last night. They'll play in the semifinals tomorrow at 5 down in Pensacola. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and popped out of play. Count stays 2-2. So this basketball-baseball layover, where they overlap, it makes it tough on sportscasters to get everything covered. Here's the 2-2. Check swing, but he did not go on the appeal, so the count goes full. Coach Kyle Lindsay of Columbia, watching the webcast, has texted me and said, look, I can bring you lunch. Coach Lindsay, who, as we mentioned, coaches Columbia, he's a Purvis graduate and a Southern Miss guy. They got me taken care of. I'm just kind of working at the moment. Runners not going. 3-2 pitch is fouled back. So the count stays full. Interesting that Farlow did not start the runners that time, when before, in a 3-2 situation, it was Mixon that was off with the pitch. So full count. Inning started off with a walk to, ironically, Ethan Walker. And a pop-up by Lawler, a walk, and a single by Turner has given the Tornadoes a run. There's a foul into the screen. Purvis batting in the top of the second inning. And these two teams, if I'm not mistaken, in the district schedule, they meet pretty early. Yeah, in like just a couple weeks, these two teams will play a home and home. The 3-2 pitch. Swung on again, and another foul ball. Already running up the meter on the cost of baseballs today. A lot of them have been put out of play. Hampton Baudouin, the pitcher for Sumrall, comes to the set. Again, the 3-2. Swung on right back towards short. Holloman's only play is at first. The ball was too deep for him to be able to step on second, so runners will advance on the play to second and third, but there are 2 outs now. And here's Bowler, the left fielder. Good lateral movement there by Holloman to get to that ball, but again, it was so deep into the hole, couldn't drag the foot on the bag at second base and turn the double play. That pitch is high. Should Bowler reach, then JoJo Parker would come back up, as Purvis will have gone through the order here in the first 2 innings. The 1-0. High, 2-0. Baudouin has to be careful here with the number 9 hitter in a hole here, 2-0. You certainly don't want to walk him and get back to Parker. Here's the 2-0. High, 3-0. Baudouin with the right arm sheathed with a blue sleeve. And if you're a betting man, you'd bet that Bowler's going to take, and he does, strike 1. Isn't that interesting? I'd like to know what the percentage is on 3-0 of what percentage of the next pitches are always a strike. The 3-1 offering. Strike 2. So Bowler's got to use the stick here. Runners will not be in motion because they are not forced in this situation. But they can get a big lead. 3-2 pitches inside, ball 4. Throws to third, and that's an overthrow. An unforced error by the Bobcats brings a run home. The runner at third apparently thought that the ball 4 was going to cause a run to score, that he was being walked in, unaware that there was no runner at first base. Walker Long saw that he was too far off the bag, pulled the trigger, but it sailed on him out into left field. So another run is in. Bowler issued the free pass. Andy Davis out to settle his troops here in the top of the second inning, with the Tornadoes leading 2-0. And here's Parker again. Parker, big strapping kid, hitting from the left side. Runners on second and third now. First pitch to him is high, ball 1. They play him to pull here. Runners will be moving on contact. Again, Turner at third, Bowler at second. Breaking ball high. 2-0. Williamson, it looks like, is loosening for Sumrall. Caden Williamson, the lefty, in the pen. The 2-0. Low, 3-0. Our crack research staff has found out that 73% of pitches on a 3-0 count are strikes, making it 3-1. And there's another one. Well done, young Jedi. So 3-1, the count to JoJo Parker. He popped to Odom his first time up. Strike 2. Don't ever throw the bat. Don't ever think it's ball 4 until it's called. Unless it's obvious, of course. All right. So Parker versus Baudouin here. The payoff pitch. Got a piece of it to tap it foul. Baudouin working quickly here. Brazil shifted more toward right in center field, the wind blowing that way. So that would make sense. You've also got a left-handed hitter. The 3-2 pitch, and it hit him. Now, he swung the bat. He did. He swung the bat, but the ball also hit him. And that's what Andy Davis is arguing here, is that there's no question that he swung the bat, but then the ball hit him. So the men in black will get together here and discuss this, and I'm not sure what the rule is. He swung, and so the out will go in the book, and Parker will officially be a strikeout victim. But the Tornadoes come up with 2 runs on 1 hit. There was 1 error and 2 men left on base. We go to the bottom of the 2nd inning. It's Purvis 2, Sumrall nothing. Back in just a moment. This is the home of Sumrall Bobcat baseball. So we head to the bottom of the 2nd inning. Tony Farlow trying to talk to the umpire about the in and out of that call, but the call stands. So we go to the bottom of the 2nd inning. It'll be Odom, Davis, and Hawkins. But Sumrall facing a 2-0 deficit. But really, when you look at it, I know at least 2 of the games already this year, Sumrall has started out behind, and the Bobcats wind up walking it off. So it's not like, to a degree, they're used to coming from behind. But here's Odom in the cleanup spot. Of course, the Purvis folks saying it was a bad call. The Sumrall folks loved it, but there's a chopper toward 3rd. Nice short hop, and then a drop, throw to first in time. That's an E5. It was actually a really good short hop play by Putnam. He just couldn't dig it out of the mitt. So runner at first, and here's Drew Davis. really, it's not that it's a good call or a bad call. It's whatever the rule is. I mean, there was no doubt that Parker swung the bat. First pitch here, and lays off of ball one. Davis pitched a little bit last night. He has played some third. But like ZZ Top, this guy's got a future so bright he may have to wear shades. Throw over to first base. 1-0 the count. Davis hitting in the 5-hole for his dad. The 1-0 swung on, and that one's chopped foul. Michael Breland on the hill for the Naders, which called Purvis High School now, but it used to be called Lamar County Agricultural High School. They were the Aggies up until 1908, I believe. In fact, where the football field now sits at Purvis, where they still call home their football field. Here's the 1-1, and that hit him right in the middle of the back. But I was going to say, where their football field is now used to actually be a cornfield that the agricultural students maintained and cultivated back in the early 1900s. I remember it like it was yesterday. So here's Landon Hawkins now with runners on first and second and nobody out. So Sumrall making some noise here in the second. First pitch to him is a drive to right center field, but lofted. Parker on the move to his left, makes the grab, and quickly gets the ball in. So Hawkins is a fly ball victim. And here's Cade Clinton now, the right fielder. Clinton can play any of the outfield positions. Played some left last night. Runners on first and second, one out here in the bottom of the second. Got to keep my cold drink in the shade. Because we're kind of at that hour here at Larry Knight Field where we're half in the sun, half in the shade this early in the morning. That pitch is outside. So for the Tornadoes, Turner at first, Hartfield at second, the shortstop is Parker, and Putnam is at third. The outfield, left to right, is Bowler, Parker, and Lawler. The 1-0 pitch. There's a strike. So the Tornadoes would like to see a sharply hit ground ball. Bobcats would like to find a base hit, find a hole somewhere, and get on the scoreboard as that one is bounced foul to the left side. So 1-2 now to Clinton. We talked about Purvis being called the Aggies back in the day. Of course, weren't dubbed the Tornadoes until that horrible tornado of the early 1900s blew through there. Breland comes set after checking the runners. Nobody holding Odom, but still back off of the pitching rubber. 601-310-7077. The number to call, or to text rather. Swung on, shot toward third. Flipped to second for one, over to first, not in time, and that ball will get into the dugout. So Odom will score. So Odom scores. Clinton reaches on the fielder's choice and goes to second on the throw. Davis is racked up at second, so 2 away. Runner on second base, and here's Malik McNair. 1 run is in. And McNair hitting in the 8 hole. Comes up. First pitch to him is a shot right at the third baseman. McNair stung it, but it was right there, and Putnam was waiting on it. The Bobcats come up with 1 run on no hits. There were 2 errors and a man left on base. We've completed 2 here at Larry Knight Field. It's the Tornadoes 2, the Bobcats 1. This is the home of Sumrall Bobcat baseball. Hampton Bodwin's day is over, and Caden Williamson is on to pitch now. The lefty for the Bobcats, and he will face hitters 2, 3, and 4. So Bodwin, his line, 2 runs on 1 hit. They were both earned. Well, actually, 1 was earned. 1 was on the overthrow to third. So Williamson gets to work here and faces Jacob Parker. First pitch is a strike on the corner. Caden Williamson on the hill. He and Malden, a couple of the lefties on this Sumrall staff. Breaking ball outside now, 1-1. They're watching from the 228. Don't have a name. They must be as part of the government witness protection program, or they're not, not wanting people to know, but they are watching in the 228 area code today. That one's outside. 2-1 now to Williamson, or from Williamson to Parker. Columbia and Wayne Academy will follow this contest today. Wind pretty quiet now. That's outside 3-1. Walker Long talking to his pitcher saying, come on now, confidence. That's a lot of this game, isn't it? Or any sport for that matter. Here's the 3-1. Outside, ball 4. So Parker is given the free pass. And he's on, and Walker Long out there to talk to his young pitcher, to settle him down a little bit. That's what a good catcher will do for you. And that's why catchers at the major league level have the best winning percentage as managers. They see the entire game. They see every position. They see every defensive play, every nuance. Williamson now to Putnam. Inside, ball 1. Putnam struck out against Baudouin his first time up. Glad that you're with us on a spectacular day in Sumrall. Throw over to first base in time. Leo Odom's grandfather, Michael, watching in the 228. Thank you, Michael. we wanted to give you a shout out. We're a big fan of Leo Odom around these parts. That one is slapped foul to the left side. So 1-1 the count. I've got my score sheet here. Michael almost needs a score sheet keeping up with all those Odom boys. 5 of them. 1-1 the count. Williamson back over to first. Forest County AHS in this division with Sumrall. Forest County AHS used to have a guy coaching baseball over there named Brad Hankins, who is now the head football coach at Purvis. That's outside, 2-1. Putnam hitting in the 3-hole. The cleanup hitter, Ethan Walker, is next. The 2-1 runner going, and that one about took some heads off over in the Purvis dugout. Man, that was a headhunter. And I don't know if, a lot of those guys standing outside that dugout right there, I think it'd be a lot safer if they were in the confines. But the runner was going there. See if he goes again. Not this time. High and away, 3-2. Now we'll see if Tony Farlow really wants to gamble here. Nobody out here in the top of the 3rd inning. Williamson, the second Sumrall pitcher today. Coming in for Baudouin. A lot of Williamsons around these parts. Caden's another one. Here we go. Runner going. Swung on. Here's a little lazy fly to center field. Coming on in is Brazil to make a can of corn catch. And there's one away. So 1 out. And here's Ethan Walker now. Righty versus lefty. Boy, Brazil wishes every play was that easy. The old can of corn. Here's Walker, the cleanup hitter. The Tornadoes twice have put a man in motion with the batter swinging. There's a strike. So they're trying to get that runner to second base, but hitters either fouling it off or popping it into play. Oh, one pitch is outside. Ace is wild here. A ball, a strike, and an out. Got some heads peeking over the wall in left field, getting a bird's eye view. Again, the party patios starting to fill up in right. Throw again over to first base. Williamson working himself into the meat of the Purvis order here. Again, a throw to first base. So they're aware that Parker is a stealing threat. As he was off to the races a couple times before. And again, a throw to first. That won't work in the majors this year, will it? Williamson gets back to work now. Runner going, and again, it's fouled into the screen. 3 times the Tornadoes have had second, but the hitters have forced the runners to rewind. So the count 1-2 now to Ethan Walker, the Purvis catcher. Wind really blowing toward right, but even so, Brazil has shaded to left. That pitch was outside. 2-2 the count now. Again, it's really interesting because you know where the fan bases sit here at Larry Knight Field. They're each off to the side. We're right over top, so we can see when they're in and out. And that hit him on the top of the helmet. So 2 men aboard. And Mixon will come in to run again at first base for the catcher. And here's Austin Lawler, who popped out to Leo Odom in his first at bat. Runners on first and second, one out. Purvis trying to extend a 2-1 lead. First pitch is high and inside. Williamson checking the runners, and that one is fouled into the screen. Southern Miss and South Al are tied at 16 with 7.5 minutes left to go in the first half. Tied at 16 now with about 7 minutes left to go in the first half. South Al has just been a thorn in the side of Southern Miss. Cody Broom going to loosen for Sumrall. There's a strike. 1-2 now. Yeah, there's a few Brooms in the Sumrall area, right? Ann Williamson is watching from Petal. Glad to have you along, Ann. At 601-310-7077. 1-2 pitch, breaking ball. Here's a little lazy fly to right. Clinton is there to put it away for out number 2. Here comes the throw to third. But Parker tags and gets to third rather easily. 2 outs. So here's Preston Walker now, the designated hitter. So you got 2 Walkers and 2 Parkers in this Purvis lineup. Runners at the corners, 2 outs. Nobody across this inning. Purvis leads 2-1. Williamson's first pitch is high, ball 1. Hope you got the sunscreen going today, because even though it's comfortable temperature-wise, that's when the sun will really get you, is when you don't necessarily know that it's hot. Walker, the number 6 man in the order. Here's a drive toward left field. Ball is well hit, but McNair is there taking a look at it, and he puts it away about 5 feet short of the wall. So the Tornadoes strand 2. Didn't get any hits in the inning. It was a hit batsman and a walk, but no damage done. We go to the bottom of the third inning. It's Purvis 2, Sumrall 1. This is the home of Sumrall Bobcat baseball. The sound of Jimmy Buffett in the speakers. The sun shining brightly here at Sumrall, and the Bobcats ready to get to work here in the bottom of the third inning, trailing Purvis 2-1. It'll be Hicks, Holloman, and Brazil. Glad that you're with us on the Sumrall Athletics YouTube channel, just like Sumrall alumnus Marshall Phillips watching on the live stream today. Marshall making a good career already down at Pearl River Community College. They've got kind of a 3-team round robin tomorrow down in Pop Vegas. So Marshall, we will see you there, Lord willing. Here's Hicks now. He's first at bat officially in this game, going up against Michael Breland. Sumrall has used 2 pitchers. It's been Breland the whole way here in the early going for the Naders. In at the corner at third is Putnam. Thinking that Hicks might try to push something down the third base line. There's a strike. The wind has been shifting from right to center. And again, it's blowing straight out of the ballpark, out of center field. The 1-1 to Hicks. Outside, 2-1. That Southern Miss game today in baseball, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, I'm not sure. But they play the Patriots of Dallas Baptist in game 2 of that 3-part series. 2-1 shot right to second base on one hop. Throw over to first base, and there's one away. Hartfield handled it, and Hicks is out on the 4-3, so 1 out. And back to the top of the order, Landon Holloman, who flew to center field his first time up. The line score, kind of weird, 2-1-2 for Purvis. 1-0-1 for Sumrall. Odd in the sense that both teams have more runs than they do hits. First pitch is swung on and foul over to the Purvis dugout. While I'm sitting here working away, my cohorts around me are dining on all this delicious food. Oh, I'll make up for it. I'll catch up. Here's the 0-1 to Holloman. Swung on, shot to third. Handled by Putnam. Throw to first is in time. Holloman out on the 5-3. Holloman's been making a living going to the left side of the field. A couple of doubles last night. Here's Brazil now in the bottom of the third with bases empty and 2 outs. He popped out to the shortstop, JoJo Parker. And Parker was about 20 feet into center field. Tries to get the bunt down, and it is foul. Brazil's a perfect drag bunt guy because, first of all, he hits from the left side. In the two hole, as a baseball guy, you want somebody that can handle the bat really well no matter what you ask him to do. Plus, he runs like the wind, so he checks all the boxes for putting a bunt down. But that one was just wide of the baseline. The 0-1. Strike 2. Fastball on the outer edge. From the full windup goes Breland. Tried to get a little poke to left field, but fouled it out of play. Yeah, Miss Shirley should have like somebody over there like collecting baseballs and then, sell them. You can make a killing. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Brazil down on strikes, and so too is Sumrall. Up and down, 1, 2, 3. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. We've completed 3 here at Larry Knight Field. It's the Tornadoes 2, the Bobcats 1. This is the home of Sumrall Bobcat baseball. So we go to the top of the fourth inning here in Sumrall today. It'll be hitters 7, 8, and 9 to face Caden Williamson, Cannon Turner, Michael Breland, and Desmond Bowler. Turner singled with an RBI his first time up, and he takes a strike there. Brazil shaded way over toward left. 0-1. This is lifted to right field. Should be routine for Cade Clinton. He didn't even have to move. And he handles that one for out number 1. So here's Breland now. Chance to aid his own cause. He grounded to short his first time up. This one is lifted also toward right. They'll have to work for this one, but Clinton comes in and waves the second baseman Hicks off for another out. 2 quick outs for Williamson here in the fourth. And here's Bowler. Bowler walked and wound up being stranded at second base. Purvis leading 2-1 here in the top of the fourth. Good to see the boss man Matt Thomas over there. There's a strike. You might not believe this, but I remember Matt Thomas when he had more hair that can possibly be cut in one sitting. That one's high. And it was a Harpo Marx kind of look. You know, the hair, yeah, blonde, curly hair. Man, it was something. The 1-1 pitch. There's a strike on the inner corner. But I think even more of a trademark for Matt Thomas was his sports goggles that he used to wear. You know, with the elastic strap in the back, you could use it to swim. You could use it to play baseball. There's a little lazy liner to center field, and that drops for a base hit. So Bowler is on with a 2-out single. And here's Parker. He has popped to first base and struck out. He's 0 for 2. But thickly built bottom half, real strong legs. Swung on. Here's a high chopper to Odom. He's going to handle it himself. Flips to the bag, and a nice cover. Nice cover by Williamson there to make the play. And the Tornadoes strand a man after garnering 1 hit. So we go to the bottom of the fourth inning. It's the Tornadoes 2. The Bobcats 1. It'll be hitters 3, 4, and 5 for the Rawcats when we come back in just a moment. Michael Jackson on the, boy, good choice of music today, guys. Jimmy Buffett, Michael Jackson. 2-1 Tornadoes as we head to the bottom of the fourth inning. And Breland now facing the middle part of the order for the second time. Walker Long digs in. He popped out to the pitcher his first time up, and that one bounces up there. ball one. Leo Odom is on deck. Raymond and Truvy McRaney are watching from Lincoln Road in Hattiesburg. Glad to have the McRaneys along. That one's a foul out of play to the right side. So the count evens out at 1-1. A little bit tardy today, Raymond. Usually you're among the first to text in. I mean, you're forgiven, but we're glad that you're watching today. Have not heard from Christy Martin, which is unusual. Down in Folsom, Louisiana, the 1-1 pitch. Low, 2-1. Walker Long in a situation last night where he won the game on a sacrifice fly, and I had no more said I wouldn't pitch to him, and he about knocked it out of the ballpark. Here's the 2-1. Here's a shot to the gap in right center field. That ball is down and will roll all the way to the wall. Long rounds first on his way to second, and he is out at second base. It was bang, bang, but he was out. So here's Odom, who put the ball in play the first time up. Putnam came up with the ground ball at third, but just couldn't get it out of the webbing. And Odom was safe. There's a strike on the inner half. So a great defensive play, and it's a big momentum swinger. Here's a little lazy fly out toward left. Bowler coming in. He's right there. Puts that one in his back pocket, and there's 2 away. Again, you can't ever really worry about the Sumrall baseball team. They've been behind so many times and have found a way to scratch out a win. Here's Drew Davis. He got hit by a pitch his first time up. First pitch to him is a base hit up the middle. No doubter right there. But boy, you see how big it was Walker Long getting tagged out at second on that bang-bang play, because that would have scored a run. Here's Hawkins now, who has flown to center. He's 0 for 1. Landon's got 2 little brothers that will make their way up the Sumrall ladder as time goes on, and a baby sis, which a girl in the Hawkins family anywhere along the way, you got to go back a couple generations. So she's special in more ways than one. That's outside, ball 1. Davis on at first with 2 outs as the Cats batting in the bottom of the 4th inning. Purvis got its runs in the second, so too Sumrall. 2-1 ball game. For the first time tonight, the wind has shifted, now blowing out toward left field. The 1-0 pitch. Swung on, and that's out of play down the right field line. Bounces right in front of the entrance to the Helt Fieldhouse, and actually caroms and bounces off the door over there. 1-1 the count to Hawkins, hitting 6th in the order for Andy Davis. It has been Michael Breland the whole way for the Tornadoes. Sumrall has used 2 pitchers. Baudouin started, and Williamson has been working since then, since the second. Here's a fly ball to center field. Parker is there and makes the catch to retire the side. Hawkins hit it well, but right at him. So for Sumrall, no runs on 2 hits. So we have completed 4 here at Larry Knight Field. It's the Tornadoes 2, the Bobcats 1. This is the home of Sumrall Bobcat baseball. So we head to the top of the 5th inning. Jacob Parker, Damon Putnam, and Ethan Walker. Perry Phillips watching the game this afternoon. Glad to have you along, Perry. And Christy Martin finally checked in. Christy, you were late today. Like I'm a teacher taking roll call. First pitch to Parker is a strike. So hitters 2, 3, and 4 to face Williamson. Another breaking ball. There is a drive, and I mean a drive, down the right field line, but it is foul. It landed right about where the pitchers would stand in the bullpen. So he got a good piece of it, but it's just a long, loud strike. 0-2 to Parker. Here's a drive to left center field. That ball is well hit. McNair back at the wall, and it is gone. So Jacob Parker, a solo shot to lead off the 5th inning. Makes it 3-1 Purvis. And here's Damon Putnam. He has struck out and flown to center field. First pitch, that one is wide of third. Man, the one that he smoked to right field looked like it was going to get out there, but that one went over the left center field wall. Nice change of pace there, swing and a miss. Putnam in an 0-2 hole. McNair was doing a good job getting over there, and it looked like he might have a play. He just ran out of room. 0-2 off the plate, 1-2 now. Putnam, the number 3 man in the order. Ethan Walker on deck. The 1-2. Swung on, little easy pop to the infield. Holloman is there waiting on it and makes the play for out number 1. So here's Walker. He has walked and been hit by a pitch. He's been on twice. So the Tornadoes have extended the lead to 3-1. Here in the top of the 5th, scheduled 7-inning game, Columbia and Wayne Academy next. That one bounces up there for ball 1. The Rex Adidas Tournament, which has become an annual affair here in Sumrall. Swing and a miss. Again, if Columbia happens to win the 2nd game today, regardless of who wins this game, they would let it go to district play to determine who wins the tournament. Because teams getting a little slim on pitching the deeper you go into the tournament. 2-1 pitch. There's a strike. 2-2 now to Ethan Walker, the Tornado catcher. Just high, 3-2. With Austin Lawler, the right fielder, on deck. The payoff pitch. Tapped, and that is a foul ball. Wow. That's one of those plays where as a defender, you want to make a play, but the ball's kind of moving that direction, and it's a roll of the dice. If that ball stays on the line, it's fair. But it did just wiggle its way across the line into foul territory, so the count stays full at 3-2. 3 runs, 3 hits, 2 errors for the Tornadoes, 1, 3, and 1 for the Rawcats. Here's the payoff pitch. That was behind him, ball 4. So here comes Mixon again to run. Mixon weighed 5 pounds more when this game started. been running in the courtesy runner situation for about every Purvis guy. First pitch is low to Lawler. He has popped to Odom at first and flown to Clinton in right. He's 0 for 2. And like Barrett Brazil, he wears the jersey number 13, which a lot of guys just stay away from that number. A little superstitious. Hotels don't put a 13th floor in their hotel. I mean, clearly there's a 13th floor. It's just numbered something else. Swing and a miss. Preston Walker is on deck. He's the designated hitter, hitting for Caden Hartfield. The 1-1 off the plate. 2-1. In the Bobcat half of the fifth, they will send up hitters 7, 8, and 9. Clinton, McNair, and Hicks. The 2-1. Runner going, and there's a base hit into left field. Moving around to third is Mixon. And that's the advantage of putting the man in motion there, is that it opens up the left side of the infield. So it's a base hit for Lawler. Runners at the corners, and 1 out. Now Walker Long will go out and signal the defense as to how they will defend this first and third situation with 1 out. He has walked and flown to left, has Walker. With 1 out, a fly ball here could potentially net another run for the Tornadoes on a sac fly. First pitch swing and a miss. He was trying to put 3 runs on the board with that swing. Purvis batting in the top of the fifth. The Tornadoes have plated 1 here on the solo homer by Jacob Parker. The battle of 589 is what they call it in football. Williamson had started to go from the full windup, but with a runner at first, it reminded him to go from the stretch. Otherwise, that runner most certainly would have taken off. Swing and a miss. Caden Williamson just challenging him with heat. And Walker not able to catch up with it. He's in a 1-2 deficit right here. Big out here for the Bobcats. Swing and a miss. Down he goes on strike, so 2 away. And here's Cannon Turner. He has singled with an RBI and flown to right. Again, a defensive set for the first and third with 2 outs. In case the runner goes. The runner's not going, and swing and a miss. So Williamson responding favorably here after giving up the home run to lead off the inning. Turner, the number 7 man in the order here with 2 outs. Here's a little lazy fly ball getting down the right field line. That ball is foul. Boy, a valiant effort by Tyson Hicks, who sprawled to try to snag it, and it was just about a foot wide of his glove. But boy, A for effort there. 0-2 now to Turner. Turner, the right-handed hitting first baseman for Tony Farlow. Now they're going to try the stolen base, and they did to perfection. They were trying to get Williamson to balk, which that would have scored a run. But at the very least, Tornadoes have runners at second and third. Swung on, here's a shot to McNair in left field, and he's there. He hardly had to move. So Turner lines out to left field. But they come up with 1 run on 2 hits. and 2 men left. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. It's Purvis 3, Sumrall 1. This is the home of Sumrall Bobcat Baseball, the Sumrall Athletic YouTube channel. Kelly Sander and Brody Courtney back with you to bring you the bottom of the 5th inning. Clinton, McNair, and Hicks for Sumrall. Clinton reached on a fielder's choice his first time up, but was left stranded at second base. 3-1 baseball game here in the bottom of the 5th. First pitch to Clinton is swung on toward the hole and a base hit up the middle. So the Bobcats already making noise here in the 5th. And here's Malik McNair, who has played a terrific defensive left field today. And you know, he is such a force when he gets on base. But that's the problem for a lot of players, is just getting on first base. First pitch to him is a breaking ball in there for a strike. McNair lined out to third his first time up. He stung it, but Putnam was right there to make the catch. So a good sign here for Sumrall with the leadoff man aboard. They actually had their leadoff man aboard last inning with Walker Long. They put the bunt down. Only play will be at first, and there is no play. Infield hit for McNair. Here's Hicks now. He grounded to second his first time up. So Sumrall making a lot of noise here now in the 5th. It's like the alarm clock goes off and they have the attitude, well, time to get to work. He's showing bunt and fouls it away. Andy Davis saying it was not a squeeze play. That was not a pitch that you really wanted to bunt, to pull the bat back. But now this enables the Purvis defense to know for sure, or at least be better prepared for a bunt and how they want to play it. Sumrall batting in the bottom of the 5th, looking at a 3-1 deficit, but business may be about to pick up here with runners on first and second and nobody out. There's the bunt right back to the pitcher. They'll go to third for the force, and he's out. That's a call that the catcher has to make. The pitcher fielded the ball, and it was the catcher instruction to go to third. So 1 out. It'll be a fielder's choice for Hicks. McNair is at second. Hicks is at first. As usual, great speed on the bases for Sumrall. And here's Landon Holloman now with one out in the bottom of the fifth. There again is a play where the catcher sees the whole field. Saw that he had enough time. It was close, but not that close. Pitch is low, ball one. Boy, to find a gapper here. Pickoff play to McNair back at second. He had gotten off a little ways. Wind now favoring the right field side. 3 runs, 4 hits, 2 errors for Purvis, 1, 5, and 1 for Sumrall. 2 of those hits for Sumrall have come in this frame. There's a strike. Holloman with a couple of doubles we mentioned last night in that extra inning contest with PCS. Boy, that was a battle. Last night you saw some really good pitching performances on both sides. 1-1 pitch is low, 2-1. Sumrall batting in the bottom of the fifth. Game 2 on the slate today. Wayne Academy, the upstart Jaguars, raising some eyebrows with wins over South Jones and Oak Grove. Playing Columbia High School next. Columbia, as we mentioned, coached by Kyle Lindsay, who prepped at Purvis and then went on to pitch at Southern Miss and was on that World Series team. Which we can now say back in the day. The 2-1 swung on, shot towards short. There's a play at short, over to first, double play. Oh, that hurts. Nothing across for Sumrall in the fifth. No runs on 2 hits. Tornadoes lead it 3-1 as we go to the 6th inning. This is the home of Sumrall Bobcat baseball. So we go to the top of the 6th inning. It'll be Breland, Bowler, and Parker. 8, 9, and 1 for the Tornadoes to face Caden Williamson, the second pitcher that Sumrall has used today. Hampton Baudouin started the game. And we're underway here in the top of the 6th inning with Purvis leading at 3-1. Williamson working quickly. That's low and inside. 2-0 now. Thanks to our sponsors, High and Tight Gentlemen's Club. The guys here at the school tell me that's the place to go. It's one good thing about having very little hair like me is you don't have to worry too much about Way to go to get a haircut. 2-0 pitch. There's a strike. Park Right Striping and Seal Coating, we thank you for your support, along with Windburn Lawn and Landscaping. Boy, those guys are busy today. Here's the 2-1. Fouled. That actually knocked something off of the screen and right onto my little table here. Alpha Insurance, Spencer Nixon's agency. Thank you, Spencer, for making our webcast possible. Also, Landry, Lewis, and Germany Architects. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on, a slap single over the head of the shortstop and into left field for a base hit. So Breland helping himself there with a single. And here's Bowler, who has been a nuisance. A different courtesy runner for the Tornadoes now. I guess Mixon's going to get a rest. Eli Lowe, the runner for the Tornadoes. And Bowler, we talked about what a nuisance he's been for Sumrall. He has walked and singled. He's the number 9 man in the order, but he's been on twice. Williamson brings it, and this is a pop fly, a little pop in the infield, and that might hit us just above our heads here. Walker Long tried to measure it, but saw quickly it was out of play. The Bobcats, when they've been hitting the baseball, lots of times been hitting it pretty crisply, but just seem to be hitting it right at people today. The 0-1 pitch, that's off the plate, 1-1. The Sumrall bullpen quiet, but the Tornado bullpen getting to work. It looks like Jacob Parker, the center fielder, looks like he's loosening down there. Breaking ball inside, 2-1. JoJo Parker, his brother, is on deck. The Tornadoes of Purvis, the Bobcats of Sumrall, they'll see each other again at least a couple times this year in region play. Southern Miss baseball this afternoon against Dallas Baptist. Dallas Baptist came into that series 7-1, but the Eagles held on last night 4-3. It's good to see Cross Civilly from Sumrall pitch so well. Man, he's been lights out so far this year for the Eagles. The Sumrall defense shaded way over to left. Huge gap in right center. There's a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Looks like the Sumrall bullpen might again start to loosen. Swing and a miss. Bowler down on strikes. So 1 away and back to the top of the order in JoJo Parker. Parker, let's see what he's been up to. As Williamson checks the runner at first. Off the corner for a strike. Parker has popped to first. He has struck out and then grounded to first. So the leadoff man for Tony Farlow looking for his first base running appearance. There's a golf shot over to the Helt Fieldhouse. Want to wish Davis Riley of Hattiesburg well, the PCS graduate on the PGA Tour in 5th place at the Arnold Palmer Bay Hill Classic. And the PGA Tour going into today's 3rd round. Runner going, 0-2 pitch, that bounces up to the plate. So Lowe, Eli Lowe, the runner at second base, is now in a non-forced situation, and he's there with 1 out. Purvis trying to increase a 3-1 lead. Breaking ball, there's a shot. Cade Clinton knew quickly it was over his head. It bounces off the fence. This will score a run. The throw to home plate is not in time. It gets by Long, and a good job by Williamson backing it up, but it's a double to the corner for Parker. And that brings Andy Davis out of the dugout. It's 4-1 Tornadoes. And that'll do it for Williamson. Pitching change for the Bobcats. We'll have it for you when we come back in a moment. This is the home of Sumrall Bobcat baseball. So the Tornadoes have put up a run here in the inning after the double by JoJo Parker. And Cody Broom comes on now, the junior right-hander for the Bobcats, to try to extinguish whatever Purvis has got cooking here in the top of the 6th inning. So JoJo Parker gets his first hit of the day, but now Jacob Parker is scheduled to come up, but they've already put him on with the intentional pass, so that's why he's walking over there to first base. So runners now on first and second with one out. And here is Damon Putnam. Putnam has struck out. He has flown to center and popped to short, so he's 0 for 3. Andy Davis playing percentages here just based on today's performance, because he has not hurt Sumrall. Breaking ball high, even though Putnam hitting third in the order. The cleanup hitter Walker's on deck here in the top of the 6th inning. Broom working quickly. That gets away from Walker Long, and the runners will advance to second and third. And more importantly, a 2-0 count. So Putnam will be sitting dead red fastball here. The pitch. That gets away from Walker Long. No play at the plate. Parker scores from third. It's 5-1 Tornadoes. And 3-0 to Putnam. There's a strike. One of that 73% on 3-0. It has been 100% today. You're absolutely right. Infield comes in, swung on. Here's a high fly ball to center field. Not deep. They'll test the arm of Brazil. There's the catch. Here comes the tag from center field, and the runner is safe. And Walker Long might be a little bit shaken up on the play. No, he touched the plate. He touched the plate. I saw it, and the Sumrall kids are arguing that he missed the plate, and the umpire's shaking his head. No, he did. He touched the corner of the plate. So it'll go as a sacrifice fly for Putnam. Base is empty now, 2 away. And this is Ethan Walker, who's ahead in the count now, 1-0. That's off the mark, 2-0 now. Wind has picked up a little bit, blowing out toward right center now. It's been about every direction today. 3-0 now. It's Ethan Walker with Austin Lawler on deck. The Tornadoes put up 2 in the second. Sumrall answered with 1 in the bottom of the second. The Naders came up with another one in the 5th, 3 more here in the 6th, and the Bobcats have been quiet since the second inning. There's a strike on 3-0. The 100% percentage continues. High and inside, ball 4. Sumrall pitching today. Has issued 6 walks and a hit batsman. So Mixon back in running now. Austin Lawler has popped to Odom at first and flown to Clinton in right. He is 0 for 2. Foul ball. Right behind us here. We mentioned this last night on the webcast, a lot of sports going on this weekend. And weather-wise, you couldn't ask for better weather. Throw to first base, and he is picked off at first base. And that will retire the side. So Mixon got a little bit too aggressive off the bag and gets rung up. So 3 runs on 2 hits, and as it winds up, nobody left on base. And Lawler will begin with a fresh count when Purvis comes to bat in the 7th. But for Sumrall, it'll be hitters 2, 3, and 4. Back with more when we return in a moment. This is the home of Sumrall Bobcat baseball. He's 0 for 2. There's a strike. Left side of the infield kind of shallow for Brazil. The right side, expecting him to pull, is back a little deeper. From the full windup, the 1-1 pitch, strike 2. Breland has not been overpowering by any means, but has mixed up his speeds and locations really well. And he's put Brazil in his position now where he's got to swing anything close. Bobcats need some base runners here in the 6th. They've put 1 across in the 2nd and have been handcuffed since. The 1-2 pitch stays alive. The Bobcats have put their first hitter on base in the 2nd, 4th, and 5th. But we're only able to get 1 across in the 2nd. Brazil trying to get something started here in the 5th. The 1-2 pitch. Here's a high fly ball to center field. That's being measured by Parker. Not deep. He's there for 1 away. Tell you what, Breland has twirled a good one here today. He's kept the Bobcats off balance. Walker Long has popped out to the pitcher and singled. Wound up being forced out at second base. But base is empty, 1 out here in the 6th. The pitch. Swung on, there's a shot to left field, and it's down. This will be at least 1. Long will not try to go on to second base. Of course, he was on his other single. He tried to get to second base and was thrown out, trying to stretch the single into a double. So Long is there with 1 out. And he's got a courtesy runner over there. Pittman into run. for Walker Long so he can get the gear back on. The Tornadoes helped themselves last inning with a 6-6-3 double play. Holloman was up with a chance to really cause some damage, hit the ball well, but Parker gobbled it up at short and made the play pretty much by himself. Sumrall batting in the bottom of the 6th inning, trailing Purvis 6-1. First pitch is high and outside. And we got the bumblebees flying around. That's where all that pollen's coming from, right? Bumblebees busy this time of year. The 1-0. Strike. Nothing's happening. So what do we do? Just refresh it? So Odom strikes out. And here comes Drew Davis now. And he takes a strike. Runner at first base. That is Colby Pittman. He's running for Walker Long, who singled. He's there with 2 out. And Davis up there with an 0-1 count. We do understand that our live stream has frozen up, that you can't hear us. So you're just going to, I guess, like the old days of radio, you just have to listen and we'll do the best we can to bring it to you. That pitch was low and outside. 1-1 now to Davis. Should he reach, then Landon Hawkins would come up. Sumrall batting in the bottom of the 6th, trailing Purvis 6-1. 1-1 pitch. That's on the corner for a strike. Boy, Michael Breland has really twirled a dandy today. Columbia and Wayne Academy scheduled to play next. Boy, the Jaguars have never been this deep into the Rex Adidas tournament, but wins over South Jones and Oak Grove. Here's the 1-2. Swung on, a drive to right field and over the head of the right fielder. Rounding third. Coming home will be Pittman. It's a 2-out double for Drew Davis, and it's a 6-2 ball game. So you had the advantage of there being 2 outs. So here's Hawkins. He has flown to center twice. He's hit the ball well. But Parker has been equal to the task each time. So the Bobcats showing a little bit of a pulse here. There's a strike at the waist. 6 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors for Purvis. 2 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for Sumrall. There's a strike. And I don't know why Landon turned on that pitch, because it was right down the middle. It dissected the plate. 0-2 now to the Sumrall third baseman. This is a pop fly. Shallow right field. Right fielder coming in and making the catch for the third out. So the Bobcats are down to their third out, 3 outs left. We have completed 6 here at Larry Knight Field as part of the Rex Adidas tournament. It's the Tornadoes 6, the Bobcats 2. Back in a moment. This is the home of Sumrall Bobcat baseball. So Cody Broom will get back to work. Austin Lawler, Preston Walker, and Cannon Turner are the Purvis offerings here in the 7th inning. Glad to see that we got the live stream working again. First pitch is a little pop out the left side of the infield. Holloman is there to make that catch, and very quickly there was 1 pitch and 1 out. Preston Walker comes up now, the designated hitter, hitting for Caden Hartfield. He has walked, flown to left field, and struck out. So he's officially 0 for 2. Cody Broom back to work here. First pitch. This one is a little pop into foul territory. Does he have room at first? He does. 2 pitches, 2 outs as Odom goes over to make that catch. So 2 away, and here's Cannon Turner now with the bases empty and 2 away. Thank you for those of you that texted in saying, hey man, the picture's frozen. Well, we got it. When you work with the highly skilled Brody Courtney, things only go wrong for just a second or 2. He's on top of it. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Here's a fly ball toward left. McNair coming in and can't not get there before the ball drops. It's a 2-out single for Turner, his second hit of the day. So runner at first, 2 outs. And Tony Farlow out to talk to the home plate umpire now. As Cannon Turner coming out of the ball game. Paxton Mixon, he's going to have to get some new tires. And here's Breland now. He's 1 for 3, including a single and a run scored. So Mixon running for Turner at first base. First pitch from Cody Broom is right there for strike 1. Game right at 2 hours old now. So game has moved along pretty quickly. 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Nice breaking ball that Breland was way out ahead of. Looking ahead to the last chance, 7th for Sumrall, it'll be Clinton, McNair, and Hicks, the scheduled hitters. Both teams have 7 hits. Broom's pitch outside. Walker Long just had to block it up. But Turner was on the move, or check that, Mixon was on the move at first base. So he's now at second base with 2 outs. So Purvis looking for some insurance. That's high. 2-2 now. Purvis looking to recoup the run that they gave up to the Bobcats in the bottom of the 6th. wide of third on that swung on ground ball. Whoever wins this game, if Columbia happens to win the second game today, they'll just let the district series determine the winner of the tournament. That one is fouled off to the right side this time. So Breland making Cody Broom throw some extra pitches. Broom, the third pitcher of the day for Sumrall. Called strike three. Oh, and he went to throw and hit the hitter in the side of the head with that throw, but it was the third out. It was the third out. So no runs on one hit. There was one man left on base. No errors. Last chance, seventh for Sumrall when we come back. They trail at 6-2 on the Sumrall Athletic YouTube channel. Michael Breland back on the hill for Purvis, looking to throw a complete game. And he will face Clinton, McNair, and Hicks. Clinton has reached on a fielder's choice and has singled. So if the Bobcats are going to pull out some magic today, it will really be an uphill climb. They're certainly capable. But the Tornadoes have had most of the defensive answers today. First pitch is a strike. Again, Breland not overpowering, so it's not that the arm has had a lot of stress on it. And because the Bobcats have been attacking early strikes, he hasn't thrown a lot of pitches. There's a base hit into left field. So the first man is aboard. That's a good start for Sumrall. And again, for the fourth time today, the Bobcats have got their leadoff man on base. So they've planted the seeds, they just haven't been able to harvest them in the form of runs. So here's McNair, who has one of those singles today. He's also lined out to third. And pitch is high, ball one. Andy Davis going to the bench for some power here in the seventh. There's a strike. 6 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors for Purvis. 2 runs, 8 hits, 1 error for Sumrall. Batting in the last chance, 7th. Malik McNair, the left fielder. Breaking ball high. 2-1. I would think that if Breland were to get into any kind of trouble, that Parker would be on the bat phone. And you old folks will understand what I mean when I say the bat phone. Commissioner Gordon was on there quite a bit, wasn't he, back in the day? The 2-1 pitch. There's a strike on the corner. And what color was the bat phone? Yes, it was. It was red. It sure was. And Coach Cooley has been warned over at first base, arguing balls and strikes. And lots of times coaches will do that just to try to ignite a fire under their team. McNair has a 2-2 count here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Sumrall looking up at a 6-2 deficit. Strike 3, McNair knew it as he walks back to the dugout with one away. Hunter Walker has picked up a stick now, and he will hit. Well, you got a Ethan Walker for Purvis, you got a Preston Walker for Purvis, you got a Walker Long for Sumrall, and now you got Walker for Sumrall. Lefty versus righty, the matchup here. First pitch swinging, and it's fouled into the Sumrall bench. Connor Walker. Looking to keep the Bobcat hopes alive here. Sumrall down to its last 2 outs against Lamar County rival Purvis. That's outside. A ball and a strike. Well, the umpiring job, that's why there's a shortage across the country. Not only is it a tough job, but then fan bases make it even tougher. 1-1 pitch is outside, 2-1. You don't know whether Breland is running on empty or not, though he's pitched all 7 innings, because he's still commanding the strike zone. The 2-1. Here's a drive to right field. That ball is well hit. That ball is gone. Connor Walker with a 2-run pinch hit home run. Aloha on the steel guitar. Connor Walker has done some yard work, and the Bobcats are within 2. How about that? So here comes a discussion at the mound. Look, I get the idea of wanting your starter to be able to finish it, and he still may. But now it's a 2-run game. Bobcats only have 2 outs to work with. But now you go back to the top of the order, and the plot has definitely thickened here. And I'd like to see the replay on that one, because I think it nicked one of the boards on the top of the fence and skimmed over. It was a line shot, but a missile nonetheless. Here's Holloman, who has been really quiet in this game offensively. See if he can keep it going here. First pitch is low, ball 1. He has flown to center, grounded to third, and grounded into a double play. So Holloman is due here. 6-4 ball game now. There's a strike. And again, Michael Breland not throwing it hard, but he's making the Bobcats hit the ball. There's strike 2. In fact, here's a statistic for you. Breland has walked 0 Sumrall hitters. Not 1 walk has Breland given up. And we talked last night, if you don't walk people, you have a chance to win every game you play. 1-2 pitch, that is a third. Throw to first is not in time. Holloman beats it out. It's an infield single. Now the tying run comes to the plate. And here comes Tony Farlow. And this is probably going to be it for Breland, but what an effort. And Parker, the gas man, will come in to try to put out the fire. But what a job by Michael Breland. So it'll be up to Parker to face Brazil and then the ever-threatening Walker Long. So hang on. It looks like the Southern Miss men are going down to defeat in the quarterfinals of the Sun Belt basketball tournament. I said there was one team I did not want to play, and it was South Alabama. And the Jags are up by 15 points with 3.5 minutes left to go. The Southern Miss #1 seed basketball team. Looks like it's going down. So here's Parker with the tying run at the plate. But should Brazil get on, then Walker Long would represent the winning run at the plate. So Purvis's power pitcher, Jacob Parker, will come in and try to close the Bobcats out. But in traditional Sumrall fashion, the Bobcats do not end ball games without fighting. A walk-off 2 nights ago against Ridgeland, a walk-off last night against PCS, and another chance here. So Brazil has popped to the shortstop. He has struck out and has flown to center field. So you've got the power Purvis pitcher going up against the meat of the Sumrall order. With a runner on first, that's Holloman. The first pitch is outside, ball 1. Parker has come in from his center field position. So Desmond Bowler has moved over to center now. And the starting pitcher goes to left field. Breland. There's a strike. Andy Davis very calm over at third base. You got the guys up there that you want who can do damage with one swing of the bat. The 1-1 pitch. Outside, 2-1. Players will have to get it on their own. No wind to speak of right now. In the last chance, 7th for Sumrall. 2-1. There's a strike. Both guys know what they're doing here. Sumrall the advantage of a left-handed bat against a right-handed pitcher that kind of delivers a 3/4 arm slot. 2-2. High, 3-2. So again, big pitch coming up here because if Brazil walks, Walker Long represents the winning run. The 3-2 pitch. Got a piece of it and fouled it off. Count stays full at 3-2. Holloman, bless his heart, really doesn't mean anything. I mean, other than he would be the 5th run, but when the other team has 6. 3-2 pitch again. Swung on, base hit into left field. Station to station go the runners. Holloman to second. Brazil is at first, and here comes Walker Long. First base is not open. Fasten your seatbelts, folks. This could be a bumpy ride. Walker Long would certainly be content with just a hit to keep this thing going. But should he get a hold of one, this place would erupt. Purvis and Sumrall with 2 more district games to come. This has been a great one. Sumrall making some noise. A lot of noise here in the last chance 7th. First pitch, breaking ball, strike on the corner. Did not start long off with a fastball. And where PCS had first base open last night and chose to pitch to him, this time it's not open. So the Tornadoes have got to work to him. That's outside. 1-1. Leo Odom is on deck. 6-4 ball game. When the Bobcats looked like their pulse was almost gone, they scored a run in the 6th, 2 more here in the 7th. And thinking about more with 1 out. The 1-1. Too high. So 2-1. Can Walker Long come up with another big hit? The 2-1. Breaking ball swing and a foul tip. Boy, he tried to. He tried to end the ball game with that swing. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Holloman is at second. Brazil is at first. Rarely are you going to have as fast a combination as those 2. Now remember, a double here would probably score Brazil from first. The 2-2. High, 3-2. If he happens to draw a walk here, the tying run goes to second. The winning run is at first. So holy cow. Here's the payoff pitch. Breaking ball, and Walker Long slammed it foul down the left field line. He was looking for off speed. He got it and just got a little bit ahead of it and pulled it. If you're Tony Farlow, this is the guy you want on the hill. If you're Andy Davis, this is the guy you want at the plate. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runners on first and second for Sumrall. The Bobcats trying to pull this one out of the fire, which would make a 3rd consecutive walk-off. The Sumrall catcher. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him on strikes. Well, that was definitely power versus power. And the Bobcats are down to their last out. And it's Odom. He has reached on an error and scored. He has flown to left and struck out. So he's 0 for 3. Runners will be going on contact, though. So again, Bobcats don't have to win it here, just get it tied. First pitch to Odom. A strike on the corner. Andy Davis a little bit upset. Andy Davis now talking to Odom here. He got a little dig in at the umpire there as he came down the line. And he told the umpire, he said, "I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to..." He's talking at him. He's just not talking to him. So 0-1 to Odom. And Leo's due. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. So the Bobcats now down to their last strike. Of course, if Sumrall does not come back to win, then their tournament run is over. This is it for. This would be their only game today, but they've played a lot of baseball this week. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, chopper toward third. And the ball is bobbled at third. It's another E5. The bases are loaded. And I think what distracted Putnam, what distracted Davis, or Putnam rather, is the runner, Holloman, was running right in front of him. Nobody did anything illegal. He just took his eye off the ball. So now the tying run is at second base with 2 outs. This is the 8th hitter of the inning for Sumrall. The first pitch to Davis is a strike at the belt buckle. And Andy Davis now vocalizing his displeasure. Second pitch, swing and a miss. And now Andy Davis wants timeout. Now Andy Davis is claiming that Drew Davis was not ready to hit. And now we got a discussion going nose to nose here that you can see at home plate. Andy Davis said his player, which in this case happens to be his son, was not ready. So no balls and 2 strikes. Parker winds and delivers. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Final line score, the Purvis Tornadoes 6 runs, 7 hits, 3 errors. The Sumrall Bobcats 4 runs, 11 hits, 1 error. So Purvis will wait and see if Columbia beats Wayne Academy. If they do, then Purvis and Columbia will decide this tournament championship based on district play. But if Wayne Academy happens to win, then there would be a 3rd game today. Purvis and Wayne Academy would finish the tournament. 6-4, Purvis over Sumrall. Thanks again to our sponsors who make our webcast possible: Diversified Forestry Management, Real South Hunting, American Graphics, thank you Stan Welburn, Watts Brothers, Kids Campus Learning Center, Landry Lewis and Germany Architects, the Spencer Nixon Alpha Insurance Agency, Winburn Lawn and Landscaping, Parkrite Striping and Seal Coating, and High and Tight Gentlemen's Club. For producer engineer Brody Courtney and executive producer Richard Thompson, I'm Kelly Sander. Thanks for joining us. You've been watching Sumrall Bobcat Baseball